So thank you if you watched the last video for the introduction to the OSI model. What we're going to get into today is the network topologies and characteristics of them, from creating a physical network to creating a logical network, and then some networking connectivity models as well. So a network topology can be defined as either physical or logical, right? And the physical network topology defines how the devices are connected to each other rather than defining how the communications between the devices occur. And a logical topology describes how the devices are connected and how the communication between these devices occur. So what I'm going to do is do a few things. I'm actually going to work with what's called the LibreOffice Draw application, and then create a physical network topology. And what LibreOffice is, or LibreOffice Draw rather, it's an open source free application that actually can be used to visualize different network topologies, actually. So what I'm going to do is use that application to explore, to better understand its capabilities, right? So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we got the draw, what I call it. The draw up and running. So I'm just going to take a look at the tools in the extension manager. And when I hit add here, and I'm going to do this right here, already there for me. All right, perfect. Unfortunately, this because it's the lab environment that we have, it doesn't include the extensions for networking symbols. But we can technically still download it, but I'm not gonna do that. But nonetheless, I am going to close this, right? And sure, you can restart now. And now I'm going to take a look at a few other things here. All right, we can take a look at the gallery, right? Then here, let's see, pretty much just what I downloaded these options, other than what it would only give me. So I can see the network, the VRT network and communications, as well as a few different various types of networking equipment icons that are on display, right? Here, right? Pretty much a visual diagram of a company's network, right? So this is actually getting into creating the logical network topology that I mentioned. Now, logical network topology displays how the different devices are connected to each and how communication between these devices occur. And there are several different types of logical network topologies, like a mesh, a star, which could be a hub or a spoke, a bus, a ring, hybrid. So we're actually going to, with this application here, we're going to actually showcase all of that, using, different things here and here, things of that nature. I'm not going to do the entire video on the makings of these things, but once we're done, then to move to actually illustrate what I'm talking about, and for us to move forward to the next topic, I'm actually going to place you guys on the other side of that once it's all finished. So this is my poor, I will admit, rendition of a mesh topology, right? All of the devices are connected to each other, and this topology is naturally, right, the most expensive to implement and maintain, right? So I'm actually gonna at this out. Don't want to say it that much atrocity, but how we can move forward with the star topology, right? The hub and spoke. So the star topology is the most widely used logical network topology for local area networks, and it consists of a central device connecting the other devices. So we're going to be using, we're going to create a star topology using, again, the draw application again, right? And I will show you guys what I come up with in just a second. All right, so here is, again, four, but I guess a rendition of a star and hub and spoke topologies, which are which star topology, which are similar in construction as far as hub and spoke topology as well. Although a star topology is utilized in local area networks, as I mentioned, and hub and spoke is typically used for deployment across a wide area network. So now we can move forward with the bus topology. Now in the bus topology, I'm going to close this out and open it back up. The devices are all connected to to central cable or link, and all the devices can communicate with each other. Now, if a device goes down, it does not affect the communication. But the whole network is affected if the central cable goes down, right? So just going to again use this application lever draw office draw, and we're going to be doing a rendition of again another topology, which is going to be our with some routers and a few other things that we're going to be connecting. We're going to create another type of topology, at least my rendition of what it what it looks like a bus topology. Forgot there for a second. But nonetheless, I'll bring you guys to the other side from what I come up with. All right, and here's my rendition of the logical bus topology that I used created uh, that I created using the draw application with LibreOffice. And in this topology, at least this rendition of it, all the devices are connected to the central backbone of the network. So I'm going to close this out, or it's not going to save monstrosity. Now, on to the ring topology. Now, with the logical ring topology, the network devices are circularly connected to each other. So the communication between devices can only occur when a device receives a token, which allows the device to send data. So all of the data sent on the network passes through all of the devices until it reaches its final destination. And the unfortunate disadvantage of a ring topology is that all the data must pass through all of the devices, and the devices removed or malfunctions, the network's going to stop functioning. So I'm actually going to use LibreDraw Office to illustrate this as well. And I'm not going to take you guys through the arduous process of uh, creating it, but I'll let you guys see where my creativity lands just a second. This is my rendition now through creating with LibreOffice Draw the ring topology, at least an illustration of it, right? As far as the four different devices, um, you know, sending communications through each other for data or any of the data that any of these guys have to send are going through each other in order to be sent to where they need to go, and vice versa, right? Um, but nonetheless, that's not my rendition of it. Now I can move forward with speaking on hybrid topologies. Now, this combines other topologies such as a star with a bus, and combining different will depend on the requirements on the network. So what I'm going to do now is actually create a hybrid topology here, at least my rendition of it, right? So I'll show you guys what that looks like in just a second. All right, so here's my rendition of the hybrid topology, right? So I got a switch here, right? Because I realized that they give the breakdown of the prior one. So I have a switch here, right? Which connects to all four of these devices here, right? And then while they're all communicating and doing whatever, they're all going back to the switch. At least these devices will be going back to the switch, right? So then you have servers, right? You have a server for these devices that also communicates with the switch, and then you have the backbone of the network right here, right? So none of these devices are connected directly to the backbone. They're connected to the switch that's connected to the backbone or wirelessly in a lot of most if not all cases, to the server that's connected to the backbone of the network that communicates with another server somewhere else. So a hybrid topology is a combination of two topologies again. Now, in this particular example, a star topology is combined with a bus topology, and these types of combinations will depend on the requirements of the network infrastructure. Right? But this again, poorly, for my rendition of a hybrid topology. Now, this brings us to the end of the video where we can, just for a brief recap of the things that we did go over. Went over creating a physical network topology, creating a logical network topology between hybrids, bus, star, and a few others. And we also went over networking connectivity models, which is pretty much all of the things I created through LibreOffice Draw. We drew up stars, bus, ring, and hybrid topology as far as we went over different network types, software defined wide area networks, and demarcation points with smart stacks as well. So this was fun, and the next video is going to be even more fun when we go over internet protocol addressing solutions. And I'll see you there. You stay curious, stay secure.